What is up, guys? Silver Warrior here, and today I'm going to be doing the video. Don't ask what your silver stack can do for you, but what you can do for your silver stack, which is obviously a quote I came up entirely on my own, and I did not just take a famous quote and switch around a few of the words in. Alright, now, in all seriousness, this is something that important that needs to be discussed, and what I mean by this is, you don't take your silver stack for granted. Don't act like that, well, yeah, just because I bought silver, I'm set up for life. I can buy a couple of generic silver bars, and that's it, It's just a very mindless activity, just, a little hobby of mine. Just buy a couple silver bars here and there, and I'm good. No, that's not the way silver investing works. That's the way that, a little kid goes about it. Someone, who thinks that, oh, silver's cool, I want to get some, oh, I'll just buy a little bit here, and then, they just think about the next thing. It's the way a little kid would act like towards something like this. It's not the way that a real investor acts. So, obviously, a lot of people do believe that, you can just buy a little bit of silver, or maybe not a little bit, but they can just kind of mindlessly buy silver, and that's it. You don't have to really put any work in. But the way for your silver stack to do work for you is you have to do work for it. It's not a one-way street. It's not, like I said, it's just not some mindless activity, or at least it shouldn't be for you, where, you don't have to worry about ever cost averaging, or setting goals or anything like that. It's just, I'm just going to buy some silver and see how it goes. That's not the way it works. You can't think that if you're just going to buy a little bit of silver, it's just going to last you a lifetime. You have to be smart with it. For one, you have to diversify your stack to actually protect yourself from anything. And for two, you can buy, I guess, all the constitutional, junk bullion that you wanted to, right? Or like a constitutional junk bullion. Yeah, no, it doesn't exist. Constitutional, junk silver coins, and obviously, you would still have some silver, but you don't have to be paying the ridiculous premiums that places like APMEX charge on top of the silver. I recently picked up 4 rolls of silver Nichols from eBay. They haven't not arrived yet, unfortunately. I just bought them last night, but I paid for 4 rolls of silver Nichols, which they have a melt value of about $176 right now. I paid $152.60, and that's including shipping. The shipping was $2.60. I paid $150 exactly. That's what they went for in an auction. I set my max bid to $150. I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to win it for $150, but it's a lot under melt, $28 under melt, and I'll be pretty happy with it. And what do you know? I win it for exactly $150 at my max bid. And so I paid for those. I'm waiting for those to come in, and of course I'll show them to you guys when they arrive. But that's 4 rolls of silver Nichols that cheap. Think about that. That's incredible. That is a ridiculous deal. And that was off of eBay. I ordered it in an eBay auction. So even if you just put a little bit of work in, the good deals will come to you. You don't have to believe that you should deal with buy it nows and stuff like that all the time. And I know it's easier, but exactly. Exactly. That's what it comes down to is I want to stack silver the easy way. I want to stack silver, but I don't want to really put any work into it. Well, I mean, that's a load of crap. I'm sorry, but it is. In order to successfully stack silver, like I said, you have to put some work in, you have to put some effort in, or else you're going to get scammed. Just completely scammed out of all your money. All your generic silver is going to be fake. All your constitutional silver is going to cost you twice as much as it should. And everything else you have is just going to be terrible deals. You really do have to do a little bit of research, do some homework on it before you start. And then you really are going to have to make sure what you're buying is legit. And not only that, but what you're buying is actually for a good price. You're not going to be paying some ridiculous price. Don't pay a little bit extra just because it's to buy it now, it's convenient, and, it's from some big company, so you have that trust factor. Guess what? Big companies get fake silver more than smaller ones do because of the fact that they go over so much silver, they can't afford to pay somebody to look at it all. They get millions upon millions of ounces of silver sold every year. You think they can look at it all? No, they can't. I mean, I know that they have some decent, I'm sure, filtering processes. I'm not sure the exact way they do it. But I know APMEX has sold fake silver before accidentally, but it still happens. While a smaller company could look at all the silver that they're getting because they're selling a lot less. So, really, that's not even, a valid reason to be paying extra because you're paying extra for silver that is just as potentially going to be fake as from anywhere else. So, definitely, you really have to do some work before you decide to buy silver, even do some research, and once you're buying, make sure you know what you're getting. I mean, don't be paying $50 an ounce because you think that silver is worth, or you don't know how much silver is worth, but you think it's worth some crazy amount. You're like, $50 an ounce, that seems fair. Does that seem official? No, don't do that. That's ridiculous. And don't buy, those unsearched lots on eBay and all that stuff, because unsearched really means searched. They just accidentally put a UN before it, because nobody's going to be selling these crazy silver rolls on eBay that are quote-unquote unsearched. I mean, how would you not search through them? They roll them themselves and are just claiming they're unsearched. Most, 90% of the stories you hear on eBay are going to be fake for those rolls. And, I saw a roll, 48 mercury dimes, a barber dime on each end, and I claimed those potential early dates and stuff, and it went up for auction, and it ended up closing at $156. I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's twice the melt value of the roll. I mean, or over twice the melt value. Well, around twice, I'd say. Around double the melt value of all the coins in the roll. And chances are the guy took 48 regular mercury dimes, maybe a few older ones that he got pretty cheap. Because you can get older ones just as cheap as newer ones if you know the right people. And then they just put a barber dime on each end and called it a day. That's ridiculous. That's a big scam. Don't do that. And, don't make impulse purchases with silver. And certainly, just put some work in before you buy it. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Is if you're willing to put in the work, then your silver stack will put in the work for you and get you through an economic collapse. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you out a little bit. And that is it for this one. Peace, love, and much respect.